Good morning, everyone. This is Miss Hazel S. Matthias from the Department of Mathematics, KLS Vishwanath Rao Deshpande Institute of Technology, Haliyar. In the previous class, we were discussing about how to find the Fourier series expansion of periodic functions with period 2 pi. So we have discussed one question and also we have discussed a question which we could not complete. Though it is an important question, everyone. So listen to me carefully. I'll explain that from the beginning once again. Okay? So listen everyone carefully. So the question was, an alternating current after passing through a rectifier has the form I equal to I naught sine theta for theta lies between 0 and pi, and for 0 for theta lies between pi and 2 pi. Okay, so this is how that alternating current passing through a rectifier which has this form where I naught is the maximum current. I naught is the maximum current and we need to express I as a Fourier series expansion in the interval 0, 2 pi. See, always remember here this interval is very important for you all. Whenever we find a Fourier series expansion, now it is we are finding the general. First problem we have discussed with the interval minus pi comma pi where length is 2 pi. Here in the interval also same thing, length is 2 pi. But later on as we proceed further, the formulas will change for this function as well as this interval as well as this interval. So now we are discussing about the general terms. We are discussing generally how to find the Fourier series expansion in this interval whose length is 2 pi. That means the period is 2 pi. So let's write the general form of a Fourier series expansion that is given by f of theta, because here the variable is theta. So it is given by a naught equal to 1 to infinity an cos n theta plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity bn sin n theta. So this is the Fourier series expansion, general form of Fourier series expansion. Now let's find the constants a naught, an and bn. So what is the formula for a naught? We have the formula for a naught. It is given by 1 by pi and the integral vary from 0 to 2 pi f of theta d theta equal to 1 by pi into, our integral is split into two parts. One is from 0 to pi, second one is from pi to 2 pi. So what we get over here, it is integral 0 to pi f of theta. F of theta is I naught sine theta d theta, because for the interval 0 to pi f of theta is I theta. Then for the integral pi to 2 pi, what is the value for the integral pi to 2 pi? F of theta is 0. So 0 into d theta. So integrating, what do we get? A naught is equal to, I can take this constant outside, so it is I naught divided by pi into integration of sine theta. We know integration of sine theta is minus cos theta and the limits vary from 0 to pi. That is equal to I naught divided by pi minus n I'll take outside. So it is cos pi minus cos 0. What is cos pi? What is it? Minus I naught divided by pi. Cos pi. See this, remember this cos n pi formula. It is minus 1 power n. For even values it is positive, for odd values it is negative. So cos pi, cos 1 into pi. So minus 1 power 1. So it will be minus 1, and cos 0 is also 1. So we will have minus 1 into minus 1, it is minus 2. Minus 2 into minus I naught, it will become 2 I naught divided by pi. So what is the value of a naught by 2? If I divide both sides by 2, what do we get? Answer me. What is a naught by 2?
Not by pi.
Okay, correct. So it is I naught divided by pi. This is the value of a naught by 2. So let's take this as 2. We have found a naught by 2. Now let's find an. What is the value of an? An formula will write us, that is 1 by pi integration 0 to 2 pi f of theta cos n theta d theta. So that is equal to, now let's split 1 by pi, 0 to 2 pi we can split it as 0 to pi f of theta cos m theta. When the integral lies between 0 to pi, when theta lies between 0 to pi, f of theta is I naught sin theta. So f of theta will be I naught sin theta and cos n theta, cos n theta d theta, plus integral from pi to 2 pi. When theta lies between pi to 2 pi, f of theta value will be 0, 0 cos n theta d theta. So here it is. Now what is an? That is equal to, let's take this I naught outside, I naught by pi into integration of, see this term is going to be 0. Then what do we have over here? Sin theta into cos n theta. We have sin theta into cos n theta, and we can apply sin a cos b formula. So what is sin a cos b formula? Integral 0 to pi. We can put the formula sin a cos b. What is sin a cos b? What is sin a cos b? Half sin a plus b plus half sin a minus b. Correct. So it is half sin a plus b. A is 1, 1 plus n. 1 plus n into theta. Can I write it like that? Yes? I'll write it. It is theta plus n theta, half a plus b plus sin a minus b, theta minus n theta into d theta. So this term is going to be 0. Now it will be I naught divided by, let's take this 2 outside, 2 pi. Then integral 0 to pi, I can write it as sin n plus 1 into theta. N I take outside, and from here I take minus theta outside. If I take minus theta outside, it will be minus sin n minus 1 into theta d theta. Is it okay everyone? What I did, from here I took theta outside, here from here I took minus theta outside. So this is what I get. Now integrate it. What do we get on integrating? It's I naught divided by 2 pi. Integration of sine we know. What is integration of sine? It is minus cos n plus 1 theta divided by n plus 1. Similarly over here, integration of sine will be minus cos, so minus of minus it will become plus, plus cos n minus 1 into theta divided by n minus 1, and the limits will be from 0 to pi, and this is the case when n is not equal to 1. Remember that, otherwise the denominator becomes equal to 0. So in order to avoid that, we take n not equal to 1. Now let's simplify this. I naught divided by 2 pi. Let's put the limits. So what do we get when we put the limits? I can take minus 1 by n plus 1 outside. So if I take that outside, what will remain? Cos n plus 1 into pi, upper limit, that is pi for this term. Cos pi minus, if I put the lower limit, it is cos 0. Now let's put the limits for this term. So 1 by n minus 1 into, if I put the limit cos n minus 1 into pi, upper limit, minus cos n minus 1 into 0, so it will be cos 0. What I have done? I have substituted the limits, upper limit and lower limit. Upper limit and lower limit we have substituted. First one, minus 1 by n plus 1, cos n plus 1 into pi minus cos 0. Then second part, 1 by n minus 1 into cos n minus 1 into pi and minus cos 0. Okay, upper limit minus lower limit. I hope this is clear. Anybody has any doubt in this? Anybody has any doubt in this?
No,
Shall I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now next, I naught divided by 2 pi into, now let's separate the terms. See, cos 0 value is 1, here cos 0 value is also 1. Minus 1 into minus 1, it will become plus, so we get 1 by n plus 1. Then we have a term over here, minus 1, cos 0 is 1, minus 1 divided by n minus 1. So it will be minus 1 divided by n minus 1. Okay, so these are the terms I separated. Then we have this term. Okay, so what is that? I have told you in the last class. No, not every day I am telling this. Cos n pi is minus 1 power n. So cos n plus 1 into pi will be minus power n plus 1. So cos n plus 1 into pi will be what? Anybody see this term is also multiplied, so you have to write that term as well. So what we get over here? Minus 1 by n plus 1 into cos n plus 1 into pi will be minus 1 power n plus 1. Then we have one more term over here. This is that term. So cos n minus 1 into pi will be minus 1 power n minus 1 divided by n minus 1. Is it clear, everyone? Is it clear? Anybody wants me to repeat this? See here, this one and this first term we have written separately. Then I wrote this term. Then I have written these terms. Now let's simplify this. What do we get? What do we get? A plus b into a minus b is a square minus b square. So when I take the LCM, it will be n minus 1 minus n minus 1, because minus of n plus 1. Minus of n plus 1 will be minus n minus 1. Plus here what we get? Minus 1 is there. So it will be altogether minus 1 power n plus 2, because minus 1 power n plus 1 and minus 1 power 1 it will become. So we will have minus 1 divided by n plus 1. Then this term will be minus 1 power n minus 1 divided by n minus 1. Is it okay? Let's continue this. So what do we get over here? I naught divided by 2 pi into plus n minus n get cancelled. So we get minus 2 divided by n square minus 1 plus, which term shall I take out from this? Minus 1 power n plus 2 can be written as minus 1 power n into minus 1 power 2. Similarly, minus 1 power n minus 1 can be written as minus 1 power n into minus 1 power 1. So minus 1 power n is a common term from both of these terms. So that's why I have taken minus 1 power n. So what will remain? Minus 1 whole square by n plus 1, and here minus 1 power 1 divided by minus 1 power minus 1 will remain, divided by n minus 1. So this is what remains. Now after this, I naught divided by 2 pi into minus 2 divided by n square minus 1 plus minus 1 power n into what this will become? Minus 1 whole square will be 1 by n plus 1. Then minus 1 power minus 1. It will be 1 by minus 1, which is minus 1 itself. So minus 1 divided by n minus 1. This is what we get it. Now let's simplify all these terms and write the final answer as I naught divided by 2 pi. Similarly over here, minus 2 divided by n square minus 1 plus minus 1 power n. Take LCM over here. So it is n square minus 1. So we will have n minus 1 minus of n plus 1. So it will be minus n minus 1. So here this term get cancelled. So minus 2 will remain. Minus 2 by n square plus 1 is the common term from both of this. Here also we will have minus 2 by n square plus 1. So the final answer will be minus of minus I naught by minus 1 into what will remain over here. If I take minus 2 outside, 1 will remain. 1 plus minus 1 power n will remain. 1 plus minus 1 power n will remain. This is for n not equal to 1. So what an value we got? I naught divided by pi into n square minus 1 into 1 plus minus 1 power n for n not equal to 1. Now we need to find the value of an when n equal to 1, because the above is not valid for n equal to 1. That's why we need to find the value of an when n equal to 1. So that is nothing but we need to find the value of a1. How shall we find the value of a1? what is the value of a1? How shall we find the value of a1? We should put n equal to 1 in a1, so we get a1. That is nothing but I naught by pi integral 0 to pi sine theta cos theta d theta in the formula an. See, here is the formula an. Okay. Here is our formula. This term is 0. So here, up to this step, we have to put, this is an, we have to put n equal to 1. So what we will have? 1 by pi into integral 0 to pi I naught sine theta cos theta d theta. So here we have I naught by pi 0 to pi sine theta cos theta d theta. And we know that sine theta cos theta is nothing but sine 2 theta divided by 2. So a1 value will be I naught divided by pi into integration 0 to pi sine 2 theta divided by 2 d theta. So that is equal to I naught by 2 pi integration of sine 2 theta is cos 2 theta divided by 2, and the limits is it cos minus cos, and the limits will vary from 0 to pi. Let's substitute the limits. On substituting the limits, a1 will be minus I naught divided by 4 pi. I take that minus sign outside and 2 outside. So it will become minus I naught by 4 pi, and the limits will be cos 2 pi minus cos 0. Cos 2 pi is 1, cos 0 is 1, 1 minus 1 will be 0. So a1 we will get it as equal to 0. Is it clear, everyone? Anybody has any doubt? These are the things we have discussed in the previous class. Till here we had discussed in the previous class. So what we got now from the above, we got a1 equal to 0 and an equal to, what is the value of an? Minus I naught divided by pi into n square minus 1 into 1 plus minus 1 power n, and this result is true for n not equal to 1. See, here we have got that. This is the value of an. N will vary, start from 2, not from 1. For n equal to 1, the value of a is 0. Next, now we have to find the next constant, that is bn. What is bn? 1 by pi integration 0 to 2 pi f of theta sine n theta d theta. So that is equal to 1 by pi into, the limits will be from 0 to pi. When the theta lies between 0 to pi, f of theta value is I naught sine theta sine n theta d theta, plus when the limits vary, theta lies between 0 to 2 pi, f of theta value is 0, 0 into sine n theta d theta. So this is going to be 0. So what is bn? bn will be I naught divided by pi integral 0 to pi. We will have sine theta sine n theta d theta. Now how to find this? Let's apply sine A, sine B formula. What is sine A, sine B? If anybody remembers sine A, sine B formula.
Cos A minus B plus cos A plus B, ma'am.
Half I should put. Okay.
Cos
It's
A minus B cos A.
Okay, correct. It is half times sine A cos B is half times cos A minus B, theta minus n theta minus cos theta plus n theta d theta. That is half cos A minus B minus cos A plus B, or you can also write it as minus half cos A plus B. Isn't it other way? As well, if you take minus sign outside. Okay, now let's substitute all these values. What do we get? If I put theta outside, what do we get? That is equal to I naught divided by 2 pi limits integral 0 to pi. I'll write this as cos of, see this term, cos theta minus n theta. I'll write it over here. Cos theta minus n theta. It is same as cos of minus n theta minus theta. Correct? Am I correct? cos theta minus n theta. I take the minus sign outside, it can be written as cos n theta minus theta. And we know cos of minus theta is cos theta itself, so it will become cos n theta minus theta. Is it okay, everyone? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's take theta outside. What we will have? Cos n minus 1 into theta minus cos n plus 1 into theta d theta. Is this step clear, everybody? This is
Yes, ma'am.
because cos of minus theta is same as cos theta. Now integrate I naught by 2 pi. Integration of cos theta. Integration of cos is sine. So sine n minus 1 into theta divided by n minus 1 minus integration of cos is sine n plus 1 into theta divided by n plus 1, and the limits vary from 0 to pi. This case is also true for when n is not equal to 1. Now what happens? Just tell me what is the value of Bn. Tell me what is the value of Bn.
0, ma'am.
Very good. Value of Bn is 0 because sine theta. And look at the limits. It's pi and 0. And for pi and 0, sine value is always 0. So the entire term will be 0. So Bn is equal to 0 since sine pi, sine 0, all the values are equal to 0. This is true for n not equal to 1. Now we shall find the value of Bn when n equal to 1. We shall find the value of Bn when n equal to 1. So what will be B1? So that is here only. You have to substitute. See here. This is Bn. Put n equal to 1 in this expression. What do we get? I naught by pi, 0 to pi, sine theta, d theta. So that will be 1 by pi integration. Sorry, I naught by pi integration 0 to pi sine theta, sine n theta will become sine theta d theta. So this is nothing but I naught by pi integration 0 to pi sine theta into sine theta is sine square theta. And what is the formula for sine square theta? Anybody remember in terms of cos, sine? Sine square theta is 1 minus cos 2 theta.
1 minus cos square theta.
Not cos square, 1 minus cos 2 theta divided by 2. Okay, you can apply that formula as well. Okay, that is also correct, 1 minus cos square theta. Again, integration is little difficult over there because we do not have differentiation of cos theta if you put 1 minus cos square theta. That formula is also correct, but integration is difficult in that case. That's why we write sine square theta as 1 minus cos 2 theta divided by 2. So it will be half times 1 minus cos 2 theta d theta, because sine theta into sine theta is sine square theta. Sine square theta can be written as 1 minus cos 2 theta divided by 2. So it will be I naught divided by 2 pi into integration of 1 with respect to theta. Integration of 1 with respect to theta is theta minus integration of cos to theta. Integration of cos to theta is sine 2 theta divided by 2, and the limits will vary from 0 to pi. Now what happens when you put the limits? It's I naught divided by 2 pi into, put the upper limit for theta, pi minus 0. Similarly over here, sine, what happens? Sine 2 pi sine 0, it is however going to be 0. From here this pi get cancels. We get it as I naught divided by 2. Correct? Wait a minute, whether there is I naught term over here? Correct, no? Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what will be the value of B1? I naught divided by 2. So what is the value of B1? I naught divided by 2, and Bn is equal to 0 when n is not equal to 1. So I naught by 2 when n equal to 1, bn equal to 0 when n is not equal to 1. Everybody correct that in the notes. I have written only half over there. It should be I naught by 2. So if you are working out with me, correct it now itself. Is it okay, everyone? It's I naught divided by 2. Everybody make a note of that. This is a very important question. So done? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So remember this, don't do this mistake, make a correction there in the notes. So now what do we have? We have to write expression. Substitute everything in 1. We get the Fourier series expansion of f of theta. F of theta is I naught by 2. Where is I naught by A naught by 2? Sorry. A naught by 2. We have A naught by 2 is I naught by pi. I naught by pi. I naught by pi. Then plus an is, see, an is, we get one expression when n equal to 1 it is going to be 0. So for n equal to 2 to infinity, an value is minus I naught divided by pi into n square minus 1 into 1 plus minus 1 power n into cos n theta. Plus the second part, here we see, we have found out bn. bn is I naught by 2 when n equal to 1, and for rest everything it's going to be 0. So we will have here only one term, that is when n equal to 1, it is I naught by 2, this is the value of b1 into sine theta. Is it sine theta or sine n theta? What is it? See here, all these things you need to substitute over here in 1. So it is bn. bn is for n greater than 1 it is 0, and for n equal to 1 we get I naught by 2. So it is I naught by 2 into sine n theta. Make a correction over there, it is sine n theta. So I hope you have written down the corrections I have told. So first one is b1, that should be I naught by 2. Then over here it should be sine n theta. Anybody has any doubt in this problem? Anybody, any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I hope you have written down the correction. Apeksha, am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Basavraj, did you do it?
Yes, ma'am. Correct.
Oh, okay. So correct it. Next. Now see, these are the general terms I have explained. In general, how to find the Fourier series expansion of a given periodic function. So here onwards, I'll make your work little easier. That means we will introduce the concept of odd and even functions. So it is easier to solve if you find out the given function is either even or odd. Okay, lot of work will be reduced. Whatever questions I discussed till now, they are not neither even nor odd. That kind of functions they are. So in that case, you need to find everything a naught, a n, b n, all those things you need to find. But when we introduce the concept of even and functions, some of the terms will be directly zero. If you can prove that it is an even or odd function, you can say that one of the terms, the constants are zero. How? We will discuss now. So this is Fourier series expansion of even and odd functions in the interval minus pi to pi. See this here, you need to be careful with the intervals. So it's a Fourier series of even and odd functions in the interval minus pi comma pi. So now when do we say that a function is even? Remember, listen to me carefully. If f of x is said to be even if f of minus x is equal to f of x. Okay, and we say that a function f of x is odd if f of minus x is equal to minus of f of x. You must have heard about this earlier. We say that a function is even when f of x is equal, f of minus x is equal to f of x, and we say that a function is odd if f of minus x is minus of f of x. Now I'll just explain you the two properties which we require to get the formulae for Fourier series expansion of even and odd functions in this interval. So first property is that the product of two even functions and that of two odd functions. What do you mean by that? Product of two even functions or two odd functions is always even, whereas the product of an even function into odd function is always odd. Okay, product of two even functions, that means even into even is always even. Then odd into odd, it is always even. But even into odd into odd is always odd. Okay, remember this property. Product of two even functions and product of two odd functions is always even. Product of one even and one odd function is always odd. This is the first property. The second property says that suppose if you have the limits which vary from minus a to plus a. You have an integral minus a to plus a phi of x dx that is equal to 2 times 0 to a phi of x dx if phi of x is even, if the function is even. Okay, 0, it is going to be 0 if phi of x is odd. Okay, this is the second property. The limits from minus a to plus a phi of x dx split into two parts. If minus a to plus a is there, it will become 2 times 0 to a, suppose if phi of x is even. It will become 0 if phi of x is odd. So this is the concept of even and odd function is useful over here. So suppose if you get to know the function is even and the limits will vary from minus a to plus a, you can directly write it as 2 times 0 to a phi of x dx. Remember this is very important. Suppose if you know the function is even, then integral, if the function phi of x is even, I write it over here again. If phi of x is even, then integral minus a to plus a phi of x dx can be written as 2 times integration 0 to a phi of x dx. Very important formula this one. Okay, done? Is it done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now see here, we will derive those formulas in order to find the Fourier coefficients. What are the Fourier coefficients? We know A naught, A and B are the Fourier coefficients. Suppose here, see, we are discussing about the interval minus pi comma pi. Let's think about only minus pi comma pi. Let's think about 0 to 2 pi later on. Let's discuss only about minus pi to pi. When the interval is from minus pi to pi, what is the formula for A naught? It is 1 by pi integration minus pi to pi f of x dx. What is an? It is 1 by pi integral minus pi to pi f of x cos nx dx. What is bn? 1 by pi integration minus pi to pi f of x sin nx dx. These formulas you must be thorough by now because we have solved quite a few problems. May not be many, but I hope this all know. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Now see here. First case what we are going to discuss over here is case 1. Case 1, when f of x is an even function. F of x is an even function. Suppose if f of x is an even function, function, f of x into cos mx, it will become what? See, f of x is an even function. Okay, f of x is an even function. Think about this one. F of x is even. What about cos? Cos is even or odd? Cos is even or odd? Tell me. Very easy. Cos is even or odd? Anyone? Cos is even or odd? How to check? Cos of minus theta is what? It is plus cos theta, isn't it? What is the formula? If f of minus theta is equal to f of theta, we say that a function is even. So cos of minus theta is plus cos theta, therefore cos nx is an even function. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So understand this. If we replace theta by minus theta and it happens to be a positive, then it is an even function. And unlike in the case of sine, sine of minus theta is minus sine theta. That's why sine is an odd function. Okay. Now come back to this. F of x we have taken it as an even function and cos is an even function. Product of two even functions. What will be the product of two even functions? It's going to be even function. Okay. Product of two even function is going to be even function. Now here come back. F of x I have taken it as even, sine is odd, and product of even and odd is going to be odd. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now you make use of this property. See, make use of this property. So according to that property, how our Fourier coefficients will be transformed. So first part. Okay, see here. We know that f of x is an even function, correct? F of x is an even function and compare these two. If f of x is an even function, minus a to plus a can be written as 2 times 0 to a phi of x dx. Similarly, as f of x is an even function, a naught 1 by pi, minus pi to pi can be written as 2 times integral 0 to pi f of x dx. Is it clear, everyone? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody has any doubt? Okay. So I'm just explaining. You just need to remember the formula, how you have got it. So next an. What is the formula for an? Even and even is going to be even. So f of x into cos nx is going to be an even function. So integral minus pi to pi can be written as 2 times 0 to pi f of x cos nx dx. Cos nx dx. Next, what about this third term? Bn. What is going to be the general formula for Bn? F of x into sin x. It is an odd function. When this total f of x into sin x, nx is odd. Here I have written. Suppose if phi of x is odd, integral minus a to plus a is going to be 0. So what will be Bn? What is Bn? What is Bn? 0. Very good. Now see, from this what you can conclude, suppose if function is an even function, suppose if f of x is an even function, you can directly conclude that Bn equal to 0. You need to find only a naught and an. Is it clear, everyone? Remember this. In the interval, from this I can conclude that in minus pi comma pi, if f of x is an even function, if you can find that it is an even function, then directly write Bn equal to 0 and find the value of a naught and an. Next, second case I consider the second case when f of x is an odd function. I consider the second case when f of x is an odd function. Now what happens, you check here. Tell me what happens here. F of x is an odd function. So when f of x is an odd function, conclude y of x is odd. Integral minus a to a f of x is going to be 0. So what this will become? A naught is going to be 0. Similarly, f of x is what? What is f of x? F of x is an odd function. F of x is odd, cos is even, product of odd and even is going to be odd. And suppose if the entire function is odd, then integral minus pi to pi. What happens? Here it is. Here it is, sorry. If f of x is odd and cos is even, product of odd and even is going to be odd, and if you have the limits from minus pi to pi of an odd function, an is also going to be 0. Then we have here it is odd, f of x is odd, sine is also an odd function, product of odd is going to be even. So as it is even, minus pi to pi, integral minus pi to pi can be written as 2 times 0 to pi. So from this we can conclude that an equal to 0, an equal to 0, a naught and an are 0, bn is going to be 2 divided by pi into integral 0 to pi f of x sine nx dx. Is it okay everyone? Anybody, any doubt in this? Understood how we got this? You need to remember this, that's it. You need not remember all these things, but I have explained you how it has happened by using which property you have got that. So at the end I can conclude that when, see this is for only the interval minus pi to pi. When x belongs to minus pi to pi, if f of x is even, if the function f of x is even, then we can conclude that bn equal to 0. If f of x is odd, if f of x is odd, then an equal to 0 and a naught is also equal to 0. This is very important. Write it somewhere, mark it somewhere and write it. Okay, put it in the form of a table. When you write, I have the notes. Hope you are all maintaining the notes, because when we do that we might come across some mistakes which you need to correct it. Write down, put a box and write down this in your book. Anybody wants to ask anything? No? Shall we proceed? Okay. Okay, so now this is in the case if you have a function which is directly given. Suppose if you have discontinuous function, I have explained you all how to find, how to check continuity, sorry, not continuity, how to check the function is even or odd. That is, if f of minus x is equal to f of x, we can say that the function is even. If f of minus x is equal to minus of f of x, then we can say that the function f of x is odd. Am I correct? Now, suppose if you have discontinuous functions, f of x is equal to phi of x in the interval minus pi less than x less than 0 and xi of x in 0 less than x less than pi. Okay, suppose in the case of discontinuous functions, how to check whether the given function is even or odd? Even this one you need to remember, that is, you can say that f of x is even if phi of minus x, if phi of minus x is equal to xi of x, and you say that f of x is odd if of minus x is equal to minus of xi of x. Is it okay? In the case of discontinuous functions, if phi of minus x is equal to xi of x, it's even. If phi of minus x is equal to minus xi of x, then it is odd. These two things you need to remember. So let's discuss one question so that the concept of odd and even function is quite familiar to you all. We need to find the Fourier series expansion of x square in the interval minus pi comma pi. We need to find the Fourier series expansion of x square in the interval minus pi to pi, and we need to deduce the three of the following which I have given in the question. Okay. We'll check later. Let's find the Fourier series expansion expansion of f of x square. Let's take f of x is equal to x square and check whether it is even or odd function. In order to check whether it is even or odd, replace x by minus x. It will be minus x whole square, that is equal to x square. So what you can conclude from this, f of x is, what you can conclude from this?
F of x is even, ma'am.
Yes, f of x is even because f of minus x I have got it to be f of x itself. That's why we can conclude that f of x is even. So from this, if f of x is even, what I can directly conclude? If f of x is even, what I can conclude?
Into integration of
0.
Which integral is 0? Which Fourier coefficient is 0?
Vn.
Yes, Bn is equal to 0. Remember this table. If the function is even, Bn equal to 0. If it is odd, An and A0 are equal to 0. So as this function is even, Bn is 0, directly you can write. So what is A0? A0 you need to put the formula. A0 formula is 2 by pi integral 0 to pi f of x dx. Because it is an even function, minus pi to pi can be written as 2 times 0 to pi. That's why the formula has become like this. So do not get confused. If you take it minus pi to pi, this 2 should not be there. If you are taking 0, 2 will come. This is why I have explained over here. This is why I have explained you that term. Remember this always, see this formula. If the function is even, minus pi to pi can be written as 2 times 0 to pi. So there is a change in the formula as well. So do not get confused. A0, even though the interval is minus pi to pi, so as the function is even, you can write it as 2 times 0 to pi. So that is equal to 2 by pi, and f of x is what? X square. What is the integration of x square? It is x cube divided by 3, limits from 0 to pi. So it will be 2 by 3 pi into, what do we get? Upper limit, pi cube minus 0. So we get here 2 pi square divided by 3. A0 is 2 pi square by 3. Therefore, A0 by 2 is pi square divided by 3. Correct? Next, find An. What is An? What is An? Tell me what is the formula for An?
2 by pi into integration of 0 to pi of x cos nx dx, ma'am.
Yes. Cos nx dx. 2 times 0 to pi f of x cos nx dx. So that is equal to 2 by pi f of x is what? X square into cos nx dx. Now how to integrate this? 2 by pi. Apply Bernoulli's rule to multiply the product of two functions. Apply Bernoulli's rule in order to multiply the product of two functions. According to Bernoulli's rule, you need to keep the first term as it is, x square into integration of cos nx. Integration of cos nx is sin nx divided by n. Okay, then minus, alternatively positive, negative sign we have to give. Differentiate x square. Differentiation of x plus 2x and integrate this term. Integration of sin is minus cos, so we will get minus cos nx by n and this n, so it will become n square. Then next, negative, positive. We need to continue until this step becomes 0. The derivative of that becomes 0. So what is the differentiation of 2x? Plus 2. Differentiation of 2x is 2. And integrate this term again. So integrating we get minus sin nx divided by n into n square. It will become n cube and the limits will vary from 0 to pi. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody has any doubt in this step? Bernoulli's rule. Anybody any doubt? Anybody has any doubt? Anyone any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now check what happens. What I have done first term, x square into integration of cos nx, that is sin nx by n, minus differentiate x square, it is 2x, integrate sin nx by n, we get minus cos nx by n square. Now positive term, differentiation of 2x, it is 2 into, again integrate this, so minus sin nx by n cube. You cannot write the fourth term because differentiation of 2 will become 0. Now, that is equal to which term will remain, you tell me. See, limits are 0 to pi, so this term is going to be 0 and the last term is also going to be 0. So what do we get over here? If I take, it is minus of minus will become plus. So it is 2x cos nx by n square. This is what remains. If I take the constant terms outside, 4 by pi n square, what will remain? And the limits will be 0 to pi. Cos nx will remain, so cos n pi minus cos 0 will remain. So from this, 4 divided by pi n square, any term is missing. What is this? Okay, this is the x. So we need to put pi also over here. Am I correct? Yes or no? Are you listening to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it is 2 by pi. You have this 2x cos nx, correct? It is 2x cos nx by n square. Limits will be from 0 to pi. So it will be 2 by pi into, if I take this 2 and n square outside, it will become 4 divided by pi n square. What will remain? X cos nx will remain. For that you put the limit, it will be pi cos n pi minus pi cos 0. So this is what we get it. Now from this we know cos n pi value is minus 1 power n, cos 0 value is 1. So pi is the common term. If I take outside, it will get cancels with this one. So we get an as 4 by n square into minus 1 power n minus 1. Or you can also write it as, can I write it? Anybody any doubt? Anybody any doubt in this? Anybody has any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Have you gone wrong anywhere? No, right? Yes. Anybody tell me where we have gone wrong?
No, ma'am.
We have gone wrong. See here. See this step once again. X cos nx, upper limit is pi. So pi cos n pi. Pi cos n pi. Lower limit is 0. So from where this has come, this should be 0. Correct? X is 0, 0 cos 0, 0 into 1, it is going to be 0. So we will have the an value as 4 by pi n square into pi into minus 1 power n, because this is x cos nx. Lower limit when you put it as 0, so this term is going to be 0. So we get it only this term. So what we get over here? 4 by n square into minus 1 power n. This is the value of an. Anybody has any doubt in this? Anybody any doubt?
Ma'am.
Okay, Bn is however going to be Bn is however 0. So let's write the Fourier series expansion. A naught by 2 is pi square by 3. A naught by 2 is pi square divided by 3 plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity an. An is 4 by n square into minus 1 power n cos nx. This is the Fourier series expansion. Fourier series expansion of f of x equal to x square. I hope this is clear how to find the Fourier series expansion. If you are able to understand or make out whether it is an even or odd function, it's quite easier for you all to simplify. Is it okay everyone? How to solve it when it is even and odd function? We have discussed about even function. Now here they have asked one more term over there. We need to deduce that. We need to find 1 by 1 square minus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 3 square minus 1 by 4 square, etc. That is equal to pi square by 12. Next one we need to deduce from that 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 3 square plus etc. is equal to pi square by 6. Next, third term they have asked to deduce is 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 5 square etc. that is equal to pi square by 8. So as this is very simple, one of the terms are 0 for this Fourier series expansion, they might ask you to deduce one of them. How to do it? By you need to put some of the values. Say first what I do is let's put x is equal to 0. When we put x is equal to 0 in this one, in the Fourier series expansion, so this is the Fourier series expansion in star. If you put x equal to 0 in star, what do we get when we put x equal to 0 in star? F of x is going to be 0 because f of x is equal to x square. If you put x equal to 0, it is going to be 0 itself. So 0 is equal to, you have here pi square by 3. Pi square by 3, then plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity 4 by n square into minus 1 power n cos 0. Cos 0 is what? It is equal to 1 itself. Now expand this. You can take this pi square by 3 to the other side. It will become minus pi square by 3. Now expand it. Expand this term summation. If I take 4 outside, it will be minus 1 power n by n square. Cos 0 is 1. It is minus 1 power n by n square. How to expand it? Give different values starting from 1 n equal to 1. So it will be minus 1 power 1 by 1 square. So that is minus 1 by 1 square. Then minus 1 power 2. It will be 1 by 2 square. Minus 1 power 3. It will become minus 1 by 3 square. Minus 1 power 4. 1 by 4 square. It will continue like this. So finally you can write it as, so if you take this 4 to the other side, we get it and multiply entire term by minus 1. Take 4 to the other side and multiply the entire term by minus 1. We get pi square by 12 equal to, wherever minus is there it will become plus and wherever plus is there it will become minus because we are multiplying the entire expression by minus 1. So it will be 1 by 1 square minus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 3 square minus 1 by 4 square etc. Is it the first one we need to prove? Correct? 1 by 1 square minus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 3 square equal to 5 by 12. Is it clear? Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's take this as equation 3. Let's take this as equation 3. Now, not equation 3, you can take this number as well, doesn't matter. So if you take this as say 1, take this as 1. Okay. Next, in order to prove the second part, that is this part, pi square by 6, what we do is we put x equal to pi. We put x is equal to pi. When you put x is equal to pi, the Fourier series expansion will be f of pi equal to pi square by 3 plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity 4 into minus 1 power n by n square cos n pi. Where you should put all these in the Fourier series expansion. What we got over here in star, we need to put first term we put x equal to 0. Now we put x is equal to pi. Now we shall put x is equal to pi. So f of pi, our function is f of x is equal to x square. So if you put f of pi, it will become pi square. So f of pi is nothing but pi square. That is equal to pi square by 3 plus 4 if I take outside, n equal to 1 to infinity, 4 into minus 1 power n by n square, and cos n pi can be written as minus 1 power n. So what we will have when simplify pi square, let's take this to the other side, it will become minus pi square by 3, that is equal to, what do we get over here? If I have taken this 4 outside, this term won't come again. So what do we get over here? That is equal to 4 times minus summation n equal to 1 to infinity, minus 1 power n into minus 1 power n. What it will become?
minus 1 power n plus 1, ma'am.
Is it n plus 1? Minus 1 power n into minus 1 power n. It is minus 1 power n plus n. That is equal to minus 1 power 2n. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now see here, we have minus 1 power multiple of 2, and multiple of 2 is always even. Correct? Minus 1 power 2n, multiple of 2, n is a multiple of 2, and this term is going to be always positive, plus 1. That's why here it will become equal to 1, so it is 1 by n square we get it. Is it okay everyone? Minus 1 power n into minus 1 power n is minus 1 power n plus 1, which is minus 1 power 2n. 2n we know it is a multiple of 2, which is always even, and minus 1 power even number is always positive. That's why it is going to be 1. And what do we get over here when you take the LCM? 3 pi square minus pi square. 3 pi square minus pi square is 2 pi square divided by 3, and you can take this 4, so it will become divided by 4. So that is equal to, now expand this. So on expanding, what do we get? 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 4 square, etc. So you can cancel out term over here. So we get pi square by 3 2s are 6. 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 4 square. Is it what we are supposed to prove? The second part, see, 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 2 square, that is equal to pi square by 6. Is it clear everyone? Is it clear? Okay. Now in order to prove this third part, what we do is we add 1 and 2. We just add 1 and 2. See here. 1 is over here, 1 is over, 2 is over here. Now you can check what happens when you add both of them. We get right hand side, left hand side pi square by 12 plus pi square by 6. And you see over here, all the terms are positive in this case, second one. But here in first one, this reciprocal of even squares. Okay, even squares, 1 by 2 square minus 1 by 4 square. So when you add it with this one, those terms get cancelled. These even terms get cancelled. Only 2 times the odd numbers we get it. So that is nothing but 2 times 1 by 1 square, 1 by 3 square. The LCM over here, so when we take the LCM 12 and we get here 2, 3 pi square, and 2 is common everywhere. So if you take 2 common everywhere, 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 5 square, etc. So what do we get over here? 3 ones are 3 fours are. So pi square, if you take this 2 to the other side, it will become pi square by 8 equal to 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 5 square, etc. So this is the deduction part. So it will not be asked all the deductions. 1, 2 will be asked most probably. Okay. So is it clear everyone how to find the Fourier series expansion and how to deduce it? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody has any doubt? Anybody any doubt? See, I have given you all time. I have not given any extra questions for you all to solve, but because my intention is you should be able to solve the questions which I discuss in the class. Okay? You should be thorough with the terms which I discuss in the class. Those who are very good in this one, if you want, I'll give you all the questions. But those who are very poor, I'm not saying, I'm not discouraging you all, but I'm saying for your good. Whatever I discuss, study only that much, more than enough. Whatever I discuss in the class, study that every day, more than sufficient. You will get an idea. Okay? Done? Next week I am going to conduct a test on this Fourier series. Next week I am going to conduct a test on this. Be prepared next week anytime. Done? And take this seriously. This is for your good.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Let's meet in the next class. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Thank you, everybody.